Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmers. Mark, 8 races to take a look at, and there'd been a little bit of rain in Perth during the week.
Yes, there has been, Adam, and welcome to all of our viewers, of course. And there has been a little bit of rain, but I'm sure we'll still get a very good racing surface. A good 4 is still expected.
Let's take a look at the conditions that we are going to be faced with. As you said, a good 4 expected. The rail will be at 15 metres with a cutaway in the straight and a nice cool day in Perth, so we should see some really good racing. Let's get into the first. It's a 2-year-old event, and they're stretching out to the 1400 metres.
Yes, to get the tab touch plate, the full second 1400 metre 2-year-old race for the season after the Size Produce Stakes. Looking forward to seeing a few of these step out over a bit of ground. One of them is, of course, Roganella, who ran second behind Art Series. Keep an eye out for Love Always and Teacher's Pet.
Soon just trying to find a run between horses, beginning to pick up, and they're followed by the force within Teacher's Pet. Further back in the field, 200 left to go. Roganella hit the front, down on the inside. Art Series, though, getting through. Art Series, Roganella. It's Roganella joined by Art Series, who reaches the lead. Art Series, Roganella, and Piker's got home.
Nice performance there by Roganella, and the form lines have been freight now with Art Series coming out and winning on a Saturday as well. I think this horse is really going to appreciate the 1400 metres. The biggest question mark when taking a look at this is the barrier. They've got barrier 7. I think they're going to be forced back, but this horse has shown enough turn of foot in the trials and even in that race to suggest that they'll be able to overcome that. I'm still not willing to rule out Teacher's Pet either. Bucked at the start there, but you could see the ground they made up on the inside and then down the outside later, only finishing just behind Monsoon, which has finished second since as well. So I think Teacher's Pet at a big price is one you still have to be very careful of.
Yeah, decided to opt against going to the 1200 metre race on the Saturday just gone. So they come to the 1400 metre race and she looks as though she's one that will hit the line. The other one we mentioned, Love Always. Look, there's still something there about this filly that I think there's some talent there for the filly of Demerit, but also Masagi, Adam. Really a big fan of this filly by Delago Deluxe. Last up was ridden a bit negatively behind Acheron, of course, which won that race all the way, but Masagi was just in behind them and didn't really get a crack at them, and the speed was so muddling. It was hard to tell, but I think he'll get a price on Wednesday.
Yeah, got out to a nice start in the early stages and then just back and try to sit behind Williams and Pike, and that horse went nowhere as well. Their head was in the air and all of a sudden found themselves out last. Made up some nice ground late, but this horse does need to step it up. The trial form's good enough to win a race like this. Need to see her on race day as well. I think stretching out to the 1400 metres would be a good mark, but I'm going to go with number 2, Roganella on top. From 1, Acheron, number 6, Masagi, and 7, Teacher's Pet.
Over number 6 on top as well, Masagi. From number 1, Acheron, last start winner. 2, Roganella, and 4, the Toe Crusher.
Race number 2 at Ascot. It's over the 1,000 metres, an event for the 3-year-olds. Mark, there's one in this that we already know is very good. There's one I think we're all keeping a bit of an eye on as well.
Yes, Adam, Kick It To Me is the one we speak of coming up, but the replay horse is KARLAKEE Miss, running second last start.
In the straight though, KARLAKEE Miss challenged by Hoboken. They go by the 200. He took a look over the right shoulder, went for home. KARLAKEE Miss in front. Here's top of the class coming from the back of the field with 100 left to go. She's mowing them down, top of the class. Raced up to KARLAKEE Miss, put pay to her. That's a fantastic performance first up from the tail.
It's a good performance by KARLAKEE Miss. I really didn't like her out in front, and the stewards did ask Clint Johnston-Porter about that move and just mentioned there wasn't a lot of speed through those early stages. At least with this race, there should be some good tempo through that. From barrier 4, they should be 1 out, 1 back, and I still think the class is definitely with this filly by Oratorio. I think she'll be winning this race.
Drops in class significantly as well to this Wednesday race. It's fairly weak. Outside of the one we mentioned at the top there, Kick It To Me. Now, this is a son of Scandal Keeper. Jason Whiting rides for Sonia Price. We saw it debut at Belmont last year, Adam, but that recent trial, that was very fast time and it hit the line very strongly.
Patience has been the key with this galloper. I still remember when it did debut at Belmont, and it took a pretty nice type, an Elegant Blast, to run over it late, and there were some really nice horses going around at that time, the likes of Daraja Jewel, which is in good form, and this horse was just able to show the class on that occasion. Recent trial, as you said, was really good. It was a mile back as they cornered for home and ended up winning the trial by 2 lengths in good time as well. I really think it's a 2-horse race, and this is the other one that I think it's out of, but I'm going to go with our replay horse, KARLAKEE Miss. From 4, Kick It To Me, number 1, Fair Nikita, and 5, King of Chaos.
I've got number 4 on top here, Adam, Kick It To Me. From the 2, KARLAKEE Miss, number 5, King of Chaos, and 3, Dia Della Rasa.
Race number 3 at Ascot. It's a Class 3 handicap over the 1,000 metres. And Mark, there was a horse that came to WA that we were expecting to do big things, struggled, had an interrupted prep, got a lot of unlucky occasions in some of those runs, but the recent trial suggests that this horse will be very hard to beat.
Yes, he's regally bred as well, Lockroy, out of Golden Slipper, winner, Polar Success. Adam, let's have a look at the trial replay, winning in nice time.
is LOCKROY. LOCKROY leads by 3/4. On the outside as Our Time Will Come. Starting to come through is Disco Medal. It's finishing gamely. And wider on the track, running on as well, is Phantom Choice. 150 to go though, and doing it stylishly at the moment, LOCKROY. LOCKROY leads clearly. Disco Medal trying hard, but LOCKROY does it on his ear from Disco Medal. Third.
As I said, last prep, this horse just had no luck at all. Was taken on at times, was bumped in vital parts of the race, but this horse looks as though they've been really patient with it, just let it settle, and now it looks ready to go. The recent trial was sensational. It was a really good performance. Does have to carry the 60 kilos here, but the horse that finished second in the trial under a lot more pressure still has to carry the 59 kilos. We saw LOCKROY running in 72 plus events, drops to a 56, so I think this horse is going to be the one to beat.
Hard to beat, and the other one you mentioned there, Disco Metal, comes out of the same trial. We saw it run really nicely last preparation, well, win a couple, and one of them was taken off from disqualification, but I think you can run a race first up. Its first up record's very good, but has ever won first up over 1,000 metres?
Yeah.
He's never seen the 1,000 metres.
Would need to be 4 lengths better than it was in the trial. It's as simple as that, because LOCKROY had it done easily and was, ridden to the line without any pressure at all. All of its wins have come first up. That's a positive for Disco Medal, but I just can't see how they're going to turn the tables here. I think LOCKROY is one of the better bets of the day. From 2, Disco Medal, 5, Radiant Girl, and 3, Brigands.
One on top for me as well, Adam. LOCKROY from the 2, Disco Metal, number 5, Radiant Girl, and 3, Brigands.
Race number 4 at Ascot. It's over the 1,600 metres, a maiden event. Different form lines coming from absolutely everywhere for this one, Mark.
Yes, indeed, Adam. Our replay horse, though, is Queen Bee, running 3rd at last start.
At the head of the others, then over on the outside is Free Cell. Going down by the 250, Magnascope, snuck a length and a half to 2. Thunder Echo, and here comes Shoohoo down the outside with a timely run. It's Shoohoo looking the immediate danger. Magnascope in front with 100 left to go. Not for long, Shoohoo pounced upon it. Queen Bee getting home well along the rail, but Shoohoo much too...
It's a good performance on this occasion, settled well back in the field at Pinjarra and was just able to work closely to the rail and make up some late ground. I thought it was a good performance. I think the step up from the 12 to the 1,600 metres is really going to suit this galloper. It is a filly by Black Fry, so she will appreciate the ground. She's drawn nicely in barrier 5, 55 kilos as well, so she has to be one of the top 4 chances.
The jockey merry-go-round in this race is what intrigues me, Adam. We've got William Pike riding the second of the Page Kenny runners, the first starter, Rosie Red Dress, which is a half to, of course, Woodsville, which is a Kalgoorlie Cup winner and raced on the weekend quite nicely. And then we've got Takahide Ikanushi riding Page Kenny's other runner, of course. They are married, and this galloper went really nicely at York first up. And we've got Glenn Smith riding the Grant and Alana Williams runner, which we'd expect William Pike to ride. So intriguing times.
Yeah, look, it is indeed. I think when you take a look at the Page Kenny runners, we just know that Ikanushi can't ride 55 kilos, so there's nothing to look at there. I still think Elsa's Tribe is the better one for them after that performance we saw. Around Time to Hunt, which has then franked that York form by coming to town and winning as well. So definitely leaning that way. Glenn Smith, we see he gets a lot of the Grant and Alana opportunities, especially for the Galantes and these types as well. But yeah, you would have thought maybe with a horse on the up there, you would have got an opportunity there. But I do think those 3 are going to play a big part in this race. I was very impressed with Elsa's Tribe, the way it ran on strongly, and that's the horse I'll put on top despite the wide draw. From number 8, Queen Bee, number 7 in What Are the Chances, really like the trial. This horse could be something, and number 12, Rosie Red Dress, 2, 8, 7, 12.
Number 8 on top for me, Adam. Queen Bee really likes stepping out to 1,600 metres here from the 2, Elsa's Tribe. Number 12, Rosie Red Dress, and the 6, Shadow Boxer.